Hey, it's Carly Meyers, and I am joined by Matt Shultz of Cage the Elephant. Welcome to Canada.
Thank you. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Big day. New record, Social Cues, is out today. I have to say I love it. Words that come to mind: groovy, sad, frustrating. It makes me want to go for a drive and smoke.
Nice. That was the goal.
Was it?
Yeah, to get people to smoke.
Does that make sense to you, that description?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Tell me about the writing process.
Well, we write a lot when we're on the road, always sharing ideas, whether it's something we're working on or things that we're listening to, which spur on ideas. And we had quite a bit of material together going into the recording process. And our friends, Portugal the Man, had told us that we should work with John Hill. And so we went in the studio with him and to just kind of do some experimenting and see if we would have chemistry. And it went really well. And so we just continued.
Right on. So are you guys traveling mostly by bus? I'm just trying to picture you writing.
Private jet. No, I'm joking.
There's lots of gold chains. You can hear them clinking in the background of the
song. They're under my turtleneck. So, we tour mostly by bus. Cool. But so we went in with John and recorded a song, and our schedules are kind of spread out, which was interesting that this record happened over quite a bit of a time. There were several breaks in between, and gave us time to reflect and think on things and really find each song's personality.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of personality on this record. I think my favorite track, if you don't mind me picking one,
I don't mind at all,
is Social Cues.
Oh, sweet. Awesome.
And I think it's because I'm on the radio, and I always get this weird tingle when I hear songs that mention the radio, and eventually they become big radio hits. And there's this sign in there, this line that says, people always say, at least you're on the radio. And I picture that being a big hit. Tell me about that song.
I think that, there's quite a big illusion that if you have success in one area of your life, it means that everything is just pitch perfect across the board, and it's not. We all go through times where we experience loss and adversity and those kinds of issues and those kinds of things in life. And, it's a pretty interesting situation trying to share that sometimes in our situation.
You mean the situation of being famous or having people watch a lot of your moves,
Yeah, the dance moves. Just because I think it's hard to relate to people who are having difficulty in life, who in some aspects seem to be have it together. So and so that song kind of was born out of that sentiment.
Okay. I want to talk about Ready to Let Go because we're already playing the crap out of it. People really dig it. Cool. I think the best part of that song, don't take this the wrong way, is the ending because it's so dramatic. It's kind of cold, and it's so definite, almost like a mic drop. While a lot of the album seems like you're sort of stuck in this turmoil, is that song optimistic or is it giving up? What is the message with Ready to Let Go? Because I've heard it both ways.
I think it's kind of has a little bit of both, right? There is a fair amount of giving up whenever you have closure, finality in a certain situation, and it is positive. It was for me, at least. I don't know. I think that answers the question right.
So it depends on the day and your mood when you're listening to it, really?
No, I think as it was happening, it happens over time and evolves, and may have started out to be a little more of a downcast song and then found its hopeful voice over time. So
by the ending.
Yeah, for sure.
Right on. Let's talk about the video, because you directed that video, and I don't like the word weird, but it's very avant-garde. As so many Cage the Elephant.
You can say it. Can
I say weird?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Okay.
At one point, you've got a couple making out, and there's blood in and around their mouths. So why don't you tell me about the concept?
I think that just it's very much about relationships and relationships that are dissolving, about loss, and you know, for whatever reason, and maybe it was because it was around Christmas time that I was conceptualizing it, but I very much was that's where all the blood comes from, you know,
there were
Santa
some crosses
Claus.
in there. There were some crosses.
No, it was just like nativity scenes. I think that maybe my eye was in tune to that. And then the record was kind of about a relationship and feasting on some of the things that were meant to be really wonderful things, and maybe to gorge oneself on those things in not so positive of a way, but then to have the redemption in the end of it. That was the point, at least. That was the hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that from the blood cake.
yeah, the blood cake.
Okay, Night Running. This song features Beck. When did you meet Beck?
We had played an event with Beck. We had played an event that he was on the same bill. I believe it was in Vegas, maybe, or L.A. And after we got done performing, they were like, Mr. Beck would like to meet you.
You call him Mr. Beck?
I don't know, but it sounds good in the story. So, you know, we're kind of filed down this little hallway into his dressing room. We're all stiff. We're like, hi.
Hi, Mr.
Beck. But he's actually a really lovely human being, very personable, and had a great interaction then. And then after we had done that, we were working on that song. We had a chorus. I know this is a long story, but I promise there's a good...
Hey, man, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, good. Apparently I'm not either. So anyways, so we had gotten the chorus and felt really great about it, but we're struggling to find the direction for the verse. And Brad was like, I feel like Beck would know for some reason. And so we sent it to him, and I think he was in China, and 2 days later... sent back several options, and they were all really good. So
you were like, you should just do this, Beck.
Yeah,
this is Mr. Beck's part.
Exactly.
Well, obviously, he's a big fan of yours because it sparked a tour.
Yeah, I don't know about the fan part.
But you're friends. You're like, I mean, you gotta have
he's
a
a great guy.
relationship.
Yeah, he's a really sweet person. Incredibly talented and highly, highly creative. Just kind of talking through different points of creative surrounding the song and the tour. Very quickly I recognized how gifted he is.
And then you brought Spoon on board.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be Cage the Elephant, Beck, and Spoon.
And Sunflower Bean, and Wild Bell, and Starcrawler. We're excited about the entire bill. So
Starcrawler's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about a 6-fur. I don't know if you counted that.
Well, there's 4, but it's broken up into 3 different legs on the tour.
So 1 ticket, at least 4 great bands.
Yeah.
So you liked directing that video. That was a good time?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
You ever think about acting?
No.
Never?
It's not, I don't know. I think that I've trained in the in the medium before, and I think it's the hardest of all the different mediums. And I find some of the practices very useful on stage, but I don't know if I'd ever pursue it in anything more extensive than that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're incredible on stage. And, I mean, it's tough to compare the person who's sitting here in a black box doing an interview with the person on stage. But the reason I asked is because we've got all these biopics coming out now. I don't know if you saw the trailer for the Motley Crue one.
No.
The Dirt.
I'd act in that. I would do that.
Would you be Nikki Sixx?
Yes.
Well, because
Nikki's a nice guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a really great guy.
You met him?
Yeah.
Where'd you meet him?
He has a radio show, and we've done it several times.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, so everybody talks about whether or not they would ever do a Nirvana or a Kurt Cobain biopic. And a lot of people would refuse to see that, because that's just something you don't touch. And we had this conversation at Canadian Music Week, and we said, well, who would have to play Kurt Cobain for you to watch that film? And they said Matt Shultz of Cage the Elephant.
That's cool. That's really cool. Those are big shoes. Yeah. For sure.
But now that you're sitting here and I meet you in person and we're talking about Beck, I'm like, you could also do Beck.
Oh, I don't know.
Not the first time you've heard that, is it?
Maybe. Actually, might be.
Oh, really? Really? Well, anyways, dude, thanks for entertaining the idea. And congratulations on the new record.
Thank you.
Social Cues is out today, and Catch Cage the Elephant on the road this summer.